And again, with the testing, like if you design a puzzle and you show it to 100 people, and let's say 80 people can't do it, then it's not going to be a fun game, because once you sell the game, chances are that 80% of the people who buy the game won't be able to solve the puzzle.
Unbelievable. You.
Subject name here.
Must be the Prida.
Subject hometown here.
So again, with the humor, like once you solve the puzzle, they tell you something funny. Actually, again, I solved this too quickly. Like, I'm not approaching this as though it was a new game, but you can see the diagram here. So the ball hits you in the face, you'll die. And put the ball into that switch there, and there was like a red dot on the ceiling as well. Oh damn, I went through this way too quick. I don't know if you can go back and then look at the video, but again, there was a lot of clues there telling you what to do and where to put the portal. In fact, chamber 6. I'm sorry about this. Let me do this again. Okay, so I've gone back a little bit. Just check this. At the beginning of every puzzle so far, we've seen this panel. So this is number 6 of 19. It also tells you how far away you are from the end of the game as well, which is pretty cool. So there's that. The pellets are dangerous. There's that. Put the pellet into the switch, and then faintly you can see other symbols as well. Cake, which is cool. Don't drink the water. Something shooting at a person. So they kind of give you clues as to what's coming up, but that's what's important to us here. And obviously these symbols correspond to these symbols on the ground, so that pellet there will hit you in the face. Put the pellet into there, and you can see the light pointing up, and it puts a light onto the ceiling where it shines upward as well, so it shows you where it faces. And again, with the grid on the ceiling, you can figure out where to put the portals. You can't put the portal anywhere else. And you can imagine, players would end up killing themselves if they don't know what's going on, and they just randomly fire portals on the wall, and if they put it on the wall here, then they'll end up getting a pellet to the face. Let's see, there's that there's... We can't put portals up there. I mean, if you imagine if we can put a portal there, then we can just jump through and cheat the system. So you have to do that. Put the portal where the light is shining, and the pellet will fall in.
Subject name here.
Must be the Prida.
Subject hometown here.
So again, and I keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Even though there's a puzzle here, they're giving you a lot of clues. Like a lot of clues as to how to solve it. And I was saying earlier, like if you give a puzzle to 100 people and 80 people can't solve it, then people aren't gonna enjoy that game because it's too hard. It's too hard. And you might say, well, they're just stupid, use your brain and figure it out. But a game isn't really about making people feel stupid. If you make a game that makes people feel stupid, you won't sell a lot of copies of it. If you make a game that makes people feel smart, you sell a lot of copies of it. If it makes people feel smart, if it's funny, like Portal is, then you're gonna make a lot more money from that game. That's game design for you. Like, the point of a puzzle game is not to just make puzzles. It's to make something that's gonna entertain the player. It's important to keep that in mind, obviously, in any sort of design, not just game design. A puzzle game is not just about puzzles. A shooter isn't just about shooting. Again, it's about having fun. A strategy game is not just about strategy, it's actually about having fun while employing strategies. Let's see.
Warning devices are required on all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate the high-energy pellet and have therefore been disabled for your safety.
Warning lights have been disabled for your safety. Funny. So this is in fact almost the same as the last puzzle. You have that thing shooting a pellet out at a place, and again you see the pellet, it leaves a mark on the wall. So again you know exactly where to point the portal if you want to catch the pellet on the portal. I guess this time it's reversed. Like the pellet is shooting at a wall and the portal is facing the switch. It's the same symbols again, so it's still the same puzzle. Or almost the same puzzle. Let's see, what else can we see here? I can't even find the radios anymore. I can faintly hear it anyway. So let's see, that switch, so you're gonna see the symbol next to the switch. The blue line leads to that. I think this is the first time we're introduced to this. The moving platform, yeah we are. So, you know, we're repeating an old puzzle. And then after that we're introduced to a new element of the game.
Good. Now use the aperture science unstationary scaffold to reach the chamber lock.
See, she tells you what to do. Use the unstationary scaffold to reach the chamber lock. Like she's telling you that you need to use that to finish the puzzle. And of course that thing is, you know, it's up there and we can't jump up there, so you know, we can't put portals there if you haven't figured it out by now. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you can't put a portal on the black surfaces, but you can on the white surface. And that moves there, the portal can be put there, and so we can jump onto here. Like, it's a fairly simple thing, right? But again, they're just introducing you to the elements of this game, and so they're keeping it simple at the start. And we're in number 7, there's only 19. So we're more than a third of the way in. And it's still a tutorial. In fact, I think almost the entire game is a tutorial. Like, they just keep introducing you to more and more things. And that's important too, like not skimping on the teaching. Because again, you don't want the game to make people feel stupid. You want the game to make people feel like they've accomplished something, and so you gotta make it so that people can understand it. I mean, I like to think that I'm moderately I'm moderately intelligent. I'm not that stupid. But again, you want to make a game so that if you give it to 100 people, 99 of them are gonna have fun. Or even 100 of them are gonna have fun. If you can make a game like that, then it's gonna be successful.
Please note that we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
So now they're gonna introduce the fact that you're gonna die if you touch the floor. Let's see. Oh, see again the audio cues, the sound and the bright colors. Anyway, let's look at the board again. So there's those, which we've already seen in the last 2 or 3 puzzles already. But there's new stuff here. Don't drink the water. And don't fall into the water. Again, don't drink, don't fall. I think we can... oh, we can. So yeah, that's fairly obvious what's going on there. And the autosave, look at that! They autosaved you right before you are able to die. That is so good! I don't know if you saw my playthrough of Call of Cthulhu and the save points in that game, but compare that with this. Right before you die, it saves you. Autosave. You don't even have to do it manually. And we're going to get more of this later on. Obviously the game gets more complicated as we go through. And that's important too, because actually, yeah, they're making it so that you can die more easily now. If you imagine, oh look, there's the radio. You can imagine if you put a portal on the wall here, and that thing's just flying past your face, so that's quite easy to get killed. Let's see, what are we doing here? Oh, I remember. We have to get the energy pellet into the switch, as we know. If we do that, it goes to there. That leaves a mark on the wall. Actually, let's just wait for this to play out. To bring that here, portal there, so it bounces in. So this time it's slightly more complex, manipulating the energy ball. So stepping up the difficulty of the puzzle a little bit at a time. And then we have to use the scaffold. I don't think I have to keep, saying the same things over and over again, but they introduce you to the elements, and then they make it slightly more difficult in the next level. And then they make it slightly more dangerous, with the water you can die if you fall in.
Very impressive. Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience.
And did you notice the change in the tone of her voice? Like, very impressive. Like, she wasn't in her burst before, she said, well done, well done. But this time she's not, it seems like she wants you to die, right? Like, she says very impressive, but she's not as happy about it. So, everything, every part of this game is so well considered. Like, there's these subtle things that they do to communicate to you every aspect of the game. The puzzles, the story, the character of GLaDOS. What else is there to say here? I guess not much. But you can see how this puzzle here is not that difficult, but it is noticeably more complex than the things we've been doing up to now. And so it just steps up in complexity a little bit at a time. Until, by the end of the game, you're really good at it. And again, it's... Imagine if you... Imagine if you're new to video games, that sort of thing is quite important. You don't want to get thrown on the deep end and just die a lot, or just not know what to do, or just spend half an hour.
The Enrichment Center regrets to inform you that this next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it.
No attempt to solve it. Well, you don't want to spend half an hour running around in circles, being confused. Like, that's not an enjoyable experience. And so, this is... And if you're good at computer games, or if you've played it before, then you would probably just breeze past this stuff and not even notice.